Hello, Mr. Gurney.
Hello, Rezan. How are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, good, good. Rezan, I know that it is almost time for Ramadan. Um, if you need to take any time off of classes, I understand. Many of my Muslim students cancel one, two, three classes during Ramadan because they're with their family.
Actually, I don't need because, I don't know. There is no
Well,
thing for I cancel my classes.
okay. But if anything happens that you need to, I understand. I know that this is an important time of the year. So did you have school today?
Yeah, actually,
How are things going at school?
I'm fine. We have played handball in PE. It's hard to
Hmm.
play, and we have Turkish and math and
Hmm.
um history classes,
Hmm.
and I have a violin course today either.
Okay. Okay.
And that's all.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. And um, I've asked you this before, but your English class at school right now, hard, medium, easy, what would you say about it?
Um, Actually, easy.
Okay. Now, many students that I talk to about their English class, they'll say to me, well, we study a lot of grammar, we study a lot of vocabulary, and I'll say, how much do you speak English? And they say, oh, we don't speak English. What
Yeah,
would you
we
say
are.
about your school?
Actually, as they say, uh, we don't speak that much, but mostly we are doing grammar and vocabulary either.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this. You seem very comfortable speaking English. You don't seem nervous. You certainly don't seem scared. You seem very, very comfortable. What has helped you the most with spoken English?
Actually, I've gone course since. While I'm going to course, my father have opened the English videos on TV, and so
Mhm.
when I've playing computer, he let me
Mhm.
only let me to play English games only,
Ah,
and
okay.
it's helpful.
Okay. Okay. Now let's take that you just said and let's move this into a vocabulary word. So I want you to look at this word, okay? And did we do this word before, Raison? I don't think we did.
Resilience or
I don't think we did. It's pronounced resilience. Resilience.
resilience.
Resilience.
I don't remember something like that.
And look at it's a very common word. It was in 1,286 articles
Oh,
last year. Now, one thing about pronouncing this word, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, Raison, but when you have the letter S and it has a vowel before it and a vowel after it, it sounds a little bit like a Z. So listen when I
yeah,
say it. Resilience, resilience, resilience. Do you hear just a little Z sound in there?
yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to put the word in the chat and I'm going to put down that this word is a noun. You English. Sometimes it was difficult. Sometimes it was frustrating. Sometimes you didn't understand. But with time, you got better and better. You learned, you practiced, you spoke, you studied, you read. And now that you're a teenager, your English is actually quite good because you showed resilience. And resilience means success through difficulty. In other words, maybe in the beginning it was difficult. Maybe in the beginning you didn't understand, but you were tough and you tried and you worked, and now you're successful. That is resilience. Okay.
Okay.
Success through difficulty. Okay. Now, Rezan, I'm going to give you a word. Let's translate this into Turkish and see what it says. Esneklik.
Yes.
So if you were to describe that word to me in English, what does that word mean?
Aesthetic, actually.
Okay. Okay.
The how could I say it? The things that when you how could I say it? When you squeeze something and when after you left it, actually I can't explain.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Can I give you another example of this? Do you remember like 3 years ago, there was a huge earthquake in southwestern Turkey,
Yeah,
not too far from Mardin, not too far from there.
yeah.
And it was terrible. It was a very terrible one. But the people are rebuilding their towns, and the electricity is back and the water is back because they are resilient.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They worked really hard to rebuild their town and to make their town as beautiful as it was before. Resilient. Okay.
Okay.
So I want you to continue to be resilient because you've already learned English well, and I'm sure whatever you work hard at, you're going to be successful with it. That is resilience. Okay, bud?
He was right.
All right, let's go on. Now, today, I want to look at this short talk from Teacher Rachel, and I'll be honest with you. There's only a little bit that I want you to remember because she does use one phrase that is really, really important and that I want you to remember. So let's listen.
Let's practice English conversation. Hey, you must be the new designer. Yeah, hi, I'm Alex. It's my first day. Welcome. I'm Rachel. I work on the same team. Oh, great. Nice to meet you. You too. Do you have everything you need to get started? I think so. Just waiting for IT to finish setting up my laptop. Classic first day problem. In this case, classic means something that happens to a lot of people. Would you like to go to lunch later? Yeah, that'd be great. Great. I'll meet you back here at 12:30 and we can walk to the cafeteria together. Sounds
Okay, now, do you have everything you need to get started?
started? I think so. Just waiting for IT.
I'm just waiting for IT to finish setting up my laptop. Now, Rezan, in all honesty, this is not IT that is the word it. I know you know that word. Do you know what IT stands for? Look what I wrote in the chat.
Information technology. Okay.
Right. Okay. Now, in English, when we say IT, it can mean information technology. It also means the person in a company or the person in a school who is in charge of the technology. Okay.
Okay.
So let me give an example. If when I was a teacher, if I arrived at school and I turned on my computer and it's not working, I would call the IT person. Hey, this is Mr. D'Alessandro upstairs. I can't get my computer to work. Can you come and help me? And the IT person would come up and help. Okay. So
Okay.
this Alex, she said she's new and right now she needs her laptop, but the IT person is still working on her laptop. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. And I also want you to know what I wrote about the word Alex, the name Alex. Alex is a nickname. Now, do you
Oh.
understand nickname?
Yeah.
Not a formal name. Interestingly enough, Alex can be a boy or a girl, okay? Because Alex is the nickname if a girl is named Alexandra, but Alex is also the name if a boy is named Alexander. So you have to look at the person to know if they are Alexandra or Alexander. Now, obviously, she's pretending to be a woman, so she's Alexandra, but Alex can be either one, male or female. Okay?
Okay, Miss Brain.
Let's keep going. So today's astronomy picture of the day. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what this is. This is a moon. It is a moon of, and I just forgot if it's Uranus or Neptune, but its name is Miranda. Okay? Now,
Okay.
just from looking at that moon, what are some things you can tell about it? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did the same thing to your brother before. Okay, there we go. Okay, so
Oh,
this
okay.
is Miranda, one of the moons of Jupiter. What are some things you can tell about Miranda? Oh, I said that wrong. I am losing my mind today. What can you tell about Miranda?
Firstly, it's not that much circle like our moon, and
Right, kind of an odd shape, right?
some places have gets less strike than the right part of it, and it seems like something have done. Like, how could I say? They have built something at there because there's mountains or something at there.
Yeah, it's a very unusual shape. You're right. And for a planet that's so far away from the sun, it is unusually bright and white. And of course, they think part of that might be ice. Because when the sun shines on ice, it does look very bright. Also, I want you to notice these strange marks up here. So, strange marks here. Okay. And I see lines here going this way, and these strange lines along here. Scientists think that inside Miranda, there is water, and that water sometimes freezes, sometimes melts. And if you've ever been around ice as it freezes, it does crack sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Rezan, do you know what ice fishing is?
Yes.
You make a little hole in the ice and you fish them. My dad and I used to do that when I was a little boy. And while I liked ice fishing, and fresh fish in the cold winter is delicious, we would take it home and my dad would cook it and it was delicious. The ice does make cracking sounds. So we would be sitting there fishing and we hear this, the ice would crack. It was kind of scary. I was always afraid the ice would crack and we would fall through. Now that doesn't really happen, but the ice cracking sound was scary. All right, my friend. So last week, we started reading about and talking about what if the Earth had rings like Saturn and what would that look like? And we read the abstract together about the possibility that maybe once millions of years ago, Earth did have rings. So today, at the introduction, and Rezan, would you
Have you
start
ever seen a shooting star?
first?
Well, shooting stars are actually pieces of a rock from space called meteors. Meteors that make it through the Earth's atmosphere and fall to the ground are called meteorites. When they hit the Earth, they are traveling fast enough that they may leave a large hole. These holes caused by meteorite crash and called impact craters.
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 The long A
Craters.
sound. Okay, good reading. So many people call them shooting stars, but that's not a really good name because they're not stars and they're not really shooting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Millions of years ago, there was a time where there were lots more meteorites falling to Earth than usual. We call this time the Ordovician period. Geologists found something interesting when they investigated limestone rocks from the Ordovician period. Limestone rocks are generally well preserved throughout geologic history. This means some limestone rocks have been around for hundreds of millions of years. Scientists have examined limestone rocks in several places around the world and found lots of stony meteorites of a type known as L-chondrite. But why are there so many of these meteorites in these old rocks? We think a giant L-chondrite asteroid was ripped apart by tidal forces as it passed too close to the Earth. The resulting pieces formed a debris ring around the Earth. Okay, would you read the last paragraph we wanted?
We wanted to explore the impact craters from millions of years ago. This would help us to understand if there actually could have been a ring around the world.
Now, I almost called you Bauer. Rezan, you'd understand the word meteorite. That's the real name. But then
Yeah.
shooting stars. In Turkish, what do you call these things?
Actually, they're saying stars either.
Really? So they also call them stars, even though really they're not stars. So isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
In both languages, we use a word that is really not correct. Okay, that's kind of interesting. All right, my friend. When we read last week, you remember that Brian hit his head very hard, and for a while he couldn't stand up. Now he's finally standing up and he's looking around to see where he actually is. Now that's good that he can finally stand up, but what was his other big problem last week?
And mosquitoes.
Right. So I'm glad he can stand up again, but before the nighttime comes, he's going to have to do something about the mosquitoes. I don't know what, but he's going to have to do something. So when we finished, he was looking around and he realized the country around the lake was moderately hilly, so hills, but not big mountains. But the hills were small, almost hummocks, just little hills, and there were very few rocks except to his left. There lay a rocky ridge, a rocky hill that stuck out overlooking the lake about 20 feet high. So he's in a land of hills, but not mountains. Rezan, would you take over?
If the plane had come down a little to left, it would have hit the rocks and never made the lake. He would have been smashed, destroyed. The word came. I would have been destroyed and torn and smashed, driven into the rocks and destroyed.
Luck, he thought. I have luck. I had good luck there. But he knew that was wrong. If he had had good luck, his parents wouldn't have divorced because of the secret. And he wouldn't have been flying with a pilot who had had a heart attack. And he wouldn't be here, where he had to have good luck to keep from being destroyed. So for the first time, he thinks, gee, if I hit those rocks, I'd be dead. So does he have good luck or does he not have good luck?
He had
It's a
a
tough
good
question.
luck for 5 minutes or something.
Okay. Okay. All right. Would you read If You Keep Walking?
I can't see
If you keep
there.
walking back. Is it not sharing?
Oh, okay. If you keep walking back from good luck, he thought you'll come a bad luck. He shook his head again, winking, another thinking not to think about. The rocky ridge was rounded and seemed to be of some kind of sandstone with bites of darker stone lights and stuck into it directly across the lake. From it and the insane corner of the L was a mound of sticks and nuts rising up out of the water and good eat of 10 feet. And first Brian couldn't place it but knew that he somehow knew was what it was had seen in the films. Then a small brown head popped to the begin surface and of the water near the mount and began swimming off down the short ledge of L, leaving of V of sharpness behind, and he remembered where seen it. It was a braver house called a braver lounge in a special he'd seen on the public canal.
Channel. Okay. Let me show you what he saw. And
Sorry.
Rezan, this is pronounced beaver. Beaver. So he saw a beaver house like this one. Okay. And he saw a beaver. Now, do you have beavers in Turkey?
No.
Yeah. They are water animals. And oh, look at here's a side view of what their house looks like. Okay.
Oh.
And they are a very common water animal here in North America. So he realizes, well, there's a family of beavers that live in the lake. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, not yet. Okay. A fish jumped, not a large fish, but it made a big splash near the beaver. And as if by a signal, there were sudden little splops all over the sides of the lake along the shore as fish began jumping. Okay, so there are beavers in the lake and there are fish in the lake. Hundreds of them jumping and slapping the water. Brian watched them for a time, still in a half daze. His head still hurts. He's still a little dizzy, still not thinking well. The scenery was very pretty, he thought, and there were new things to look at, but it was all a green and blue blur, and he was used to the gray and black of the city, the sounds of city, traffic, people talking, sounds all the time, the hum and whine of the city. So Brian isn't used to being out in nature. He's a city boy, kind of like you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Here at first.
Here at first it was silent, or he thought it was silent. But when he started to listen, really listen, he heard noise of things, hisses and blockers, small sounds, birds singing, hum of insects, splash from the fishing jumping. There was a great noise here, but a noise he did not know. Sorry, and the colors were new to him, and the colors and noise mixed in his mind to make a green blue blur of he could hear as a hiding pulse sounds, and he was still tired, so tired.
So now he realizes at first he thought it was silent. But now when he sits and listens, he hears all kinds of sounds from animals and insects. He doesn't know what animals or insects they are, but he's hearing sounds and he's very tired. So awfully tired, and standing had taken a lot of energy somehow and had drained him. He supposed he was still in some kind of shock from the crash, and there was still the pain, the dizziness, the strange feeling. He found another tree, a tall pine with no branches until the top, and sat with his back against it, looking down on the lake with the sun warming him. And in a few minutes, he scrunched down and was asleep again. Rezan, if you scrunch down, it means he's bent down like this, and he falls asleep again. Rezan, do you think the sleep is important for him?
Yeah, kind of, because it hits his head, and
Okay.
when something have hit it, it must be, how could I say it? Relaxed.
Yeah. He needs the rest. I think you're right. I'm a little worried about food and protection, especially
Yeah.
from the mosquitoes. And while you're sleeping, you're not getting any food and you're not getting any protection. Okay, let's just start the next chapter. We won't have time to do very much. So chapter 5.
His eyes snapped open, hammered open, and there were these things about himself that he knew instantly. He was unbelievably, viciously thirsty. His mouth was dry and taste full of sticky. His lips were cracked and felt like felt as they were bleeding, and if he didn't drink some water soon, he felt that he would wither up and die. Lost lots of water, and they were he could find.
Right. This word here, wither, that's an older English word that means to dry up. Like if you had a plant in your house and you didn't give it any water, it would wither up and die. Okay.
Okay.
So his lips are so dry, he thinks they're bleeding. Okay. He knew the thirst and felt the burn on his face. It was mid-afternoon and the sun had come up over him and cooked him while he slept, and his face was on fire, would blister, would peel, which did not help the thirst, made it worse. He stood, using the tree to pull himself up because there was still some pain and much stiffness. Oh, like my back hurts. And looked down at the lake.
It was water, but he didn't know if he could drink it. Nobody had even told him if you could or couldn't drink lakes. There was also he thought of the pilot.
Should he drink the water from the lake? Is it safe? And he also knows the pilot's body is in the water. So should he drink that water or not? What would you do?
Actually, I don't know.
I mean, I think the water from the lake would be safe, and the pilot's body, yes, that body's going to fall apart in the water, but right now the crash just happened. I think it's safe, but we'll have to see next week. Rezan, a pleasure to see you today. See you again next week.
Me too, Mr. Bernard.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.